Why Riot's other games are better than League of Legends? I'm really curious. Let's see.
Wild Rift is better than League of Legends.
Okay.
27th of October 2020, Riot released their next generation of League of Legends. Finally, League on a new engine. We've been waiting for this so long, and I can't wait to play it finally on mobile.
Bro, like...
Engine that
oh my
allowed...
God. He says like, oh, mobile, but it's like... If I was in high school and I had League on my phone, right? I was playing League in high school with my classmates. Like, we would play League on the phones during classes and stuff if we had it. Like, it would be so cool to have that.
Do you guys not have phones?
Yeah, you guys all have phones, right?
For some people, it doesn't come as a surprise that Wild Rift is actually objectively better than League of Legends. But for
How do you define better? He needs to explain what is better.
people like me who played once when it came out and then never thought about it ever again and just kept playing the good old League of Legends, it kinda does. Because Wild Rift does something League of Legends pretty much can't anymore. Let me explain. League of Legends was originally released in 2009, so this year it'll be League's 15th anniversary. And the game is still alive and doing well, which is insane and
it's
cool at the same time.
right now.
There really hasn't been a game with a longevity like this except for like WoW and
Yeah, like what other games have this longevity, right? World of Warcraft? I can't think of any other.
Counter-Strike. Unlike other games,
Counter-Strike, yeah, right? Minecraft, I guess, maybe, right? Because 2009 Minecraft was released. But Minecraft is Minecraft even that popular anymore? I know.
League's high skill ceiling and imaginary virtual points are something that keeps people want to play the game more and more. But it has a few flaws. A few. And most of those flaws...
No, like, I feel like, you know, you can shit talk League all you want, but it's like Wild Rift, you play it on your phone, right? Like, how do you even control the character? How do you even target properly, right? I played a bit of Wild Rift, I wanted to try it out a couple years ago. You cannot control the characters as well, it's so annoying. It's so annoying, I don't know, maybe it's a me thing, because I'm not a mobile gamer, right? But, you know.
Flaws are getting bigger and bigger every year. You know why? Because the game is getting old. League just can't keep up with newer games like Fortnite or Valorant. The engine is not built for it. Especially when the engine was built by the same guy who made Big Rigs. Yes, you heard that
Big
right,
Rigs.
and I'm not joking, by the way.
Yeah, like the system is like very old, right? This is why they have to rework so many champions. And that's why there's so much spaghetti in the game, and everything breaks, right? But at this point, they're too invested into it. They have to continue working on this bad code they have, because remaking the whole thing would take too long. And they have deadlines, you know, they plan things in advance like a year already, right? So they've got a plan for those. They don't have the time to spend remaking everything from scratch. They can't. They just cannot. It would mean they have to pause the entire thing for a while to work on new engine and stuff, right? And while you say, oh, why don't they do it in parallel and then just release the new one? Well, it's because all the new stuff that comes, then you have to put in an old one. And you're always gonna be behind with the new system, right? If you do it in parallel. So I don't know what Riot is gonna do about it. Like, what do you do in this situation? You just cannot upgrade because you have deadlines, but the system is too old. I don't know what they're gonna do about it. Something's gonna have to change. I don't know. Maybe when the new MMORPG comes out in 2030, they say that's it. We pause League for 6 months while we upgrade it, and you guys play the MMORPG. I don't know. I don't see any other way to fix this, really, honestly.
Technical lead for League of Legends back in 2006 to 2008 was Sergey Titov, who was the creator of Big Rigs, the worst game ever created.
No, it's not a bad game. It's a good game. I can already see the speedometer going around the circles, but for that time it was good.
So yeah, no wonder League still has a few bugs 15 years later.
Oh my god, what is this?
I don't want to get fully into that stuff in this video, but I think that fact might need its own video. But as I said, the engine is not built for modern day gaming. But just imagine, if there was just some way to enjoy League of Legends with a modern engine. Oh wait, that's Wild Rift. That's right, the mobile version of League of Legends is doing things many people wish League PC did. Okay, well, maybe not the
what?
gacha system part, but...
They have gacha still. Oh my god, they have gacha.
Yeah, take a keep that. But yes, Wild Rift on a technical level is way more advanced than League. And
honestly, like when you look at Wild Rift, I hope he shows gameplay. The in-game models and animations, they look smooth. Like, they're so smooth. compared to League ones where they're just so, I don't know, like so sharp, so like they don't move at all, you know.
And they're also pushing forward things you can do in the game. They just released their 5.2 update with bunch of cool stuff. And
look, they actually get a new map.
this is actually the reason why I want to make this video in the first place. Because you know
Hextech map, you can't even get Winter map. It's so annoying.
what they added? They added a T-Hex. A fucking Hextech T-Rex.
Huh?
What the fuck? And that's
Is this a game mode?
not even the craziest part. This is actually a playable character. You can play as the T-Hex.
What?
This is a thing that actually drops from the current Baron on Wild Rift. Like,
What the hell? To get Baron buff on top of it? And look as well, they had Baron on the Drake side, right? In Wild Rift, I know that sides get flipped, right? So you are always on the bottom left. So there's no like green, blue side, red side disparity and advantage like we have on Summer's Rift on PC, right? Oh, but I guess, yeah, Wild Rift does some things good. The worst part, or like the only bad thing about Wild Rift, in my opinion, is the fact that, man, it's on mobile. I'm playing that.
like, come on, guys, how badass is that?
This
oh
is
yeah,
cool.
and also Herald is a walking turret. Yeah, this is actually
Yeah, that's better than Herald. Hopefully you cannot mount this and run to your death like the current Herald, because that's annoying. Or right-click by mistake and you are in a death trap. You're like in a car with no driver, you know?
cool as shit. Even though it's cool as hell, I know what a lot of people are thinking. Well, if you would add this to League, you would lose its competitive integrity.
Herald exists, and the game's still fine.
Which, I mean, yeah, this would probably do that, but that's besides the point. The point is that Wild Rift isn't scared of trying new things to add in the good old Summoner's Rift.
Not the poor videos.
We did get the Grubs and the drivable Rift Herald in PC League, which I think were extremely good additions to keep the game fresh, but that's pretty much all the new game-changing things we got in like, what, 3 to 4 years?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, right? Yeah, that's all. Because besides that, it was legit all items. It was literally all items. New season, new items. New season, new items. Ever since mythics were a thing, right? Just items and items.
I mean, we got the Hextech Drake and Chemtech Drake, but I mean, that wasn't really like game-changing. They were just like new additions. Wild Rift is coming out with new cool shit all the time, and it's not afraid to try out wacky things to get more people hooked to the game. Like, honestly, even though Wild Rift is just technically a mobile version of League of Legends, it does so many things better.
What? Malphite is Giga Chat, Jesus. Look at this. This looks so much nicer. This is so cool. Meanwhile, when you go in Champ Select in the League client, half the time this, where it shows you the lanes, is not even working. It's just completely broken. Like,
That.
Look at this guy. This is the base model. Like, look how good this looks. Now, if you don't play Malphite, if you play Malphite without the skin, it's just a weird-looking mountain. Like, the models are so cool. Look at this.
And PC League does. And I actually asked a buddy of mine, Eat Stewart, who is a Wild Rift content creator, for things that Wild Rift...
That's a scam model. So be it. Splash Shards in League are a scam as well. What do you mean? You know? But this looks
Actually,
better than on what Summer's Rift. Look.
Does objectively better
Like, he looks better. It's clean. Look at that.
than League of Legends.
More fluid animations. You know?
Graphics and visuals. The graphics are...
Look at this. This is so cool. Look at that. This is a cool champ select. I wish we had this. It's so cool. Look at that. And the 3D models, they just look better. Right? If you zoom in on a model in League, it looks so bad.
way better on Wild Rift, even though it's a mobile
This
game,
dude.
because the game was built on a new engine that allowed them to rebuild all the models from the ground up and make them look even better than on PC. Like pretty much all the new designs
Oh, look at her. There you go, right? She actually has a face if you zoom in on
in Wild Rift are 1,000 times better than in League of Legends. I mean, just look at Wild Rift Malphite. Like, look how cool he looks.
Gotcha.
And then we have this guy in League. Yeah,
2009. Actually, I think he was reworked once. This is new stuff, right? This is reworked stuff.
I think I can see the problem. Tutorial. Stuart didn't actually talk about this, but Wild Rift's tutorial is so
what's
much
this?
better than in League of Legends. Just like, Look at this.
Whoa.
It basically tells you every single little detail in the game, like from warding to brushes to even like scuttle crab. Like what the hell? Like
so
the
cool.
tutorial has gotten better
Yeah, I did go through the tutorial recently, and the tutorial league is garbage.
in League of Legends, but like there's just so much missing from it. For example, there's no tutorial for jungling at all in League of Legends.
True.
Like there's just none. And in Wild Rift, you can even see the timers for the camps before you even start the game, which is insane. Themed patches. Instead of the whole mid-season, new season patches, in Wild Rift, there are themed patches. For example, last patch there was a Shadow Isles, Light and Rune items, and this patch it's the Hex Rift with T-Hex and all the other cool things like Hex.
I mean, let's be honest, like League does, like the PC version does the cool, every season there's something new, right? Maybe it's not as big as the whole Void Grabs every time, right? But it's still cool. Like League does cool things, you know?
The gates and all that stuff. Game modes. So there's apparently a legendary queue, a separate queue from the normal ranked, where...
Wait, what? Legendary queue? Queue up in incognito and it's solo queue only? The mode is dead at the moment though. What? I wish I had legendary queue. I would love that. I wish I had that.
Where players queue incognito and it's solo queue only. And apparently it's completely dead, so yeah, I don't know. And there's also a duel mode, a 1v1 mode in League of Legends. Like, how is there no 1v1 mode in League? Like, I mean, you can make your
we have 2v2. Look at those animations on Caitlyn though.
own,
So
you know, 1v1 ARAM stuff like that, but there's no like quick, like just boop, press one button and you are in a 1v1 mode for like a minute. There's nothing like that in League. It's kind of sad. There was also a swarm like
I think their
PvE
servers would break if they did that. Imagine how many games they would have to host. It's crazy.
Kalista
And I think the game mode would die fast. What is
game
this?
mode in Wild Rift. And to be fair,
Kalista game mode?
it looks pretty cool.
I mean, we got Swarm, so I can't complain. We got Swarm. Swarm is an amazing game mode that we got. Vampire Survivors in League is the best thing ever. So good.
Not gonna lie. Events. There are so many events in
Events, okay. Events in League are new skins and a battle pass. That's the event in League. It always has been like that, right? We all agree. Do they do anything else in Wild Rift? I don't think so, right?
Wild Rift. There's just so much stuff like
This is still
missions, trivia.
I mean, missions we already have.
There's like quizzes and stuff. Ton of
Quizzes
skin
are boring anyway.
lines. Completely exclusive
What the hell is this? Is this League?
to Wild Rift.
Is
Although
this Lux? It's Lux.
they
Oh
are
my
behind
god! What?
a gacha system most of the time. So
Crazy. Alright. We have a cleanse here.
yeah, we don't
crazy.
need that in League.
Oh. Well, never mind. They dodged. Okay.
But the skins are cool. Battle Pass, Wild Pass. Of course, because it's a mobile game, there is
I
gonna
mean, yeah, we have the battle pass, right?
be a Battle Pass. But apparently, it's way better than League of Legends PC.
I don't think battle pass could be better than another pass. It's still a battle pass. You know, the system is the same. More rewards, less rewards. It's more or less the same. More or less the same, honestly.
In-game customization. This is actually super cool. I did not know this is in Wild Rift. So apparently, you can customize your recalls.
Okay, this is cool though. Like, this is cool. Right? You have different recalls. Like, how amazing is that? Because right now, the only way to get... There's two ways to get a different recall, right? You either do it from Honor level, right? You either Honor level 5, you get Honor last game. And that's it. Or you get Challenger. aka top 0.1%. Or even less, 0.01%. Or like top 200 or 300 on server or whatever. Right? It's like... cool, you know, if you get Challenger, right? I mean, I got the Challenger recall for the first time, right? Man, it's so amazing. But it's like, okay, but why is there only one recall? Why don't we have a Diamond Elo recall? Why no Emerald Elo recall? I don't get it, right? Why is there no other recall?
Trails, like the stuff that comes out of
Trails, okay, the home guards, right? It's so
your
cool.
ass when you leave the fountain. Battle ensigns.
I guess the home guard effect, the battle thingy here, they're all tied to skins in League. Because the new Ari, $500 Ari skin, right? The new Ari skin has this. It has this, right?
Ensigns, I cannot read. Like, how cool is that? And a bunch of other small customization options. Champion
But
map.
those don't matter as much.
mastery. Like, you can see everybody's build in the top leaderboards, and you can copy that instantly into your next
Okay, this is cool. To see their builds and copy them, that's really cool, right? That's really cool.
game. And this one actually hurts OG players a lot. Guilds. So you can make groups for friends and communities to join and play together.
Oh my god, remember when we had clubs in League of Legends? However many years ago that was, we had clubs. The clubs had a tag after your name and everything. I feel like having guild is cool. Because if you have friends and those friends have other friends and so on, you start to build a community. It's like your only options to maybe make a Discord server. But it's like having a guild in League with voice chat that's actually working really well and so on. That would be really cool. And you complete objectives together and stuff. Like, I would love to see that. Have like 10, 20, 30, 40 members. It's very doable. Groups of friends can merge and become a guild. And that's so cool. I wish we had that, honestly.
To get rewards and also climb the leaderboard. Rest in peace, League of Legends clans. They died for...
Oh, clubs. Were they clans? I think they were clubs. I don't remember, man. I don't remember.
Wild Rift guilds. Like, bro, why, man? And finally, progression. This one isn't actually objectively better.
Look at that.
And I would assume this is the reason why so many League players don't actually want to get into Wild Rift. In Wild Rift, there's a system called marks that players get from playing ranked instead of LP, making the climb a lot more satisfying and easier. And you can get loss prevention cards from events and stuff like that. So the game is basically a way easier League of Legends, which for a lot of
So it's easier to climb in Wild Rift?
mobile gamers is preferably the better option. But this is one of the main reasons why a lot of League PC players are not switching to Wild Rift, because the ranking system is made for mobile players. So why is Wild Rift getting all these cool things and not League of Legends? And why isn't Wild Rift more popular than League of Legends right now? Well, to answer your first question, money. Wild Rift has already made more than $1 billion from revenue.
What? Bro, like, I knew that mobile game industry was high, but, or like big, but not this big. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. What? Huh? What? Okay.
And this stat is from 2023. It doesn't include 2024. Could be way more. It could be like 1.5 billion.
Jesus.
And that number is only going to go up since the game is getting more popular.
Wait, do you have smite indicator? Look at this. Let's see here. Look at the Raptor HP. You see this? It's like a little line, right? And I think you can smite when this line exists, right? This is 800 HP, I think. Bro, what? So cool.
Since the game is getting more popular every year. And the player base is rising every single day.
The player base is rising?
Right now, Wild Rift has 110 million downloads. And League of Legends has 150 million players. So it is catching up.
I mean, downloads and players are different, I would say. I don't think they're the same. I think they, you could download the guild 3 times, right? I think, isn't that how it works? I don't know.
Quite fast, in just like, let's say 3 years, I can imagine Wild Rift is bigger than League of Legends. Because mobile gaming is huge and expanding in Asia and South America.
Like, mobile gaming in Asia is insane. And because of they go on public transport all the time is the norm, and they just play on their phones while they wait, right? There's nothing else to do. So it makes sense for them.
Who could have guessed? So that is why Riot is focusing every single innovation, every single new cool thing into Wild Rift instead of League of Legends.
And they can get away with doing it on Wild Rift, I guess, right? Because it's less competitive in a way, right? Because when it comes to League, everybody complains if something goes wrong. But on Wild Rift, it's like, well, it's a mobile game, who cares, whatever. Who the hell cares,
It is also a new game compared to League of Legends, so they are allowed to innovate, and the player base will most likely find it cool that there's new stuff in the game. For League of Legends, though, that's kinda not the case. The engine is super old and it's hard to do new things. Like, for example, here's Riot August talking about a variation of an old Jinx ability.
When I was working on Jinx, her grenades originally could light brush on fire, but
I can blade the brush on fire!
we had a problem. You see, back then, there was no way to tell where brush was.
What?
Like, if you got a point on the map, you couldn't tell if that point was in a brush. So, I needed to get creative.
So then how, like, And then how do you know if a champion is in the brush? How do you know? Like, what?
What you could tell is if someone was standing in brush. So, naturally, I just made an invisible grid of Teemos that spanned the entire map. Then, when Jinx threw her grenades, I would check for any nearby Teemos.
Bro, like, I thought, I knew the right spaghetti code was bad. But I didn't know it was this bad. Oh my god.
And if the nearby Teemo was in the brush, I'd light that Teemo on fire. And then I would check for Teemos next to him, and if those Teemos were in the brush, I would light them on fire as well. And then, of course, if there's any champions nearby, they'd also get lit on fire.
So yeah, making
Nah.
new things is incredibly hard, since the engine is
So
meant to
bad.
run big rigs. And I think not all League players even want changes like that. Some people have played the game for 10 plus years, and if you change something drastically, they will probably just quit.
No. I like innovation. I feel like innovation brings positive things and changes are good. Because if you make a bad change, you can always go back. But if you never make the change, there's nothing change it and it becomes stale. I like changes.
Because the game is not anymore the game they fell in love with in the first place. And I think this is one
Because let's look at Minecraft or Terraria. I'm never playing the old version of those games because they're boring. Why would I play the inferior version, you know?
of the main reasons why Riot isn't innovating in League of Legends and focusing more on Wild Rift. Although I think Arena and now Swarm are a great way to expand League of Legends
Swarm is
existing
great.
player
This
base
is great.
without touching Summoner's Rift itself.
Yeah, game modes are cool.
And I think Riot is doing the right decision by making new game modes and pretty much new games inside of League. But if you want to play League of Legends 2, it is right in your pocket. Let me actually try it out myself. Fuck, how do I find the play button somewhere?
Oh my god. Oh no.
What the fuck is this?
Oh
no, that's
no,
not what I want.
the skills.
How many fucking
Oh,
pop-ups am I getting?
pass.
Where
Oh,
am I?
no.
At the end of the day, Wild Rift is still a mobile game.
Yeah, mobile games are something else. Mobile games are something else. Okay, here's the video, guys. Go give it a like. Great video, honestly. Good stuff. Man, like they have many cool things in Wild Rift, not gonna lie. Not Clancy here, it's a Leona. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think Wild Rift will become bigger than League, like PC. I don't think so. Because yeah, it's like the competitive nature of League will not let it die, you know.